Hello, today we are going to learn service strategy in ITIL. In Module 2, we have these topics: understanding the service strategy stage and its key processes, defining services and creating a service portfolio, understanding demand management and financial management for ID services. The service strategy stage is one of the 5 stages of the ITIL Information Technology Infrastructure Library Service Lifecycle. This stage focuses on defining and developing the overall strategy for delivering ID services that align with the business goals and objectives. The key processes of the service strategy stage include 1. Service portfolio management. This process involves the management of all the services offered by an organization. It includes defining, analyzing, and maintaining the service portfolio to ensure that it meets the needs of the business and aligns with the organization's goals. 2. Financial management for ID services. This process involves managing the financial resources required to deliver ID services. It includes budgeting, accounting, and charging for services to ensure that they are delivered in a cost-effective manner. 3. Demand management. This process involves understanding and forecasting the demand for ID services to ensure that the organization can meet the needs of its customers. It includes analyzing customer needs, managing customer expectations, and developing strategies to meet future demand. 4. Business relationship management. This process involves building and maintaining relationships with business stakeholders to ensure that ID services are aligned with the needs of the business. It includes identifying and managing customer needs, developing strategies to meet those needs, and defining the key performance indicators (KPIs) to measure success. Overall, the service strategy stage is critical in ensuring that the IT services offered by an organization align with its business goals and objectives. By implementing the key processes outlined above, organizations can ensure that their ID services are delivered in a cost-effective and efficient manner while meeting the needs of their customers. Defining services and creating a service portfolio are important components of the service strategy stage of the ITIL Information Technology Infrastructure Library Service Lifecycle. Here's a breakdown of these two concepts. Defining services. Defining services involves identifying and documenting the services that an organization provides to its customers. A service is defined as a means of delivering value to customers by facilitating desired outcomes without the ownership of specific costs and risks. It's important to understand what services are being offered, how they are delivered, and what value they provide to the customer. Defining services involves several steps. 1. Identifying the services offered. The first step in defining services is to identify all the services that an organization offers. This can be done by reviewing the service catalog, which is a comprehensive list of all the services offered by the organization. 2. Defining the service. Once all the services have been identified, they need to be defined in detail. This involves specifying the scope of the service, the requirements for delivering the service, the roles and responsibilities of the service provider and the customer, and any service level agreements SLAs that are in place. 3. Documenting the service. Once the service has been defined, it needs to be documented in a service catalog. The service catalog is a formal document that provides a detailed description of the service, including its scope, requirements, and SLAs. Creating a service portfolio. Creating a service portfolio involves managing all the services offered by an organization. The service portfolio is a comprehensive list of all the services offered, and it includes information on the service definition, service level agreements, and other relevant information. 1. Analyzing the service portfolio. The first step in creating a service portfolio is to analyze the existing services offered by the organization. This involves reviewing the service catalog, identifying gaps in the services offered, and assessing the performance of existing services. 2. Identifying new services. Once the existing services have been analyzed, the next step is to identify new services that can be offered. This can be done by conducting market research, identifying customer needs, and analyzing the competition. 3. Defining new services. Once new services have been identified, they need to be defined in detail. This involves specifying the scope of the service, the requirements for delivering the service, the roles and responsibilities of the service provider and the customer, and any service level agreements (SLAs) that are in place. 4. Documenting the service portfolio. Once all the services have been defined, they need to be documented in the service portfolio. The service portfolio is a formal document that provides a comprehensive list of all the services offered, including their definition, SLAs, and other relevant information. In summary, defining services and creating a service portfolio are critical components of the service strategy stage of the ITIL service lifecycle. By following these processes, organizations can ensure that their services are clearly defined and aligned with customer needs and business objectives, and that their service portfolio is up to date and comprehensive. Demand management and financial management for IT services are two key processes in the service strategy stage of the ITIL Information Technology Infrastructure Library service lifecycle. Here's a breakdown of these two concepts. Demand management. Demand management is the process of understanding and forecasting customer demand for IT services. It involves analyzing customer needs, managing customer expectations, and developing strategies to meet future demand. The main objectives of demand management include: 1. Understanding customer needs. The first step in demand management is to understand customer needs. This involves identifying the specific services required by customers and analyzing their usage patterns and behavior. 2. Managing customer expectations. Once customer needs have been identified, the next step is to manage customer expectations. This involves identifying the specific services required by customers and analyzing their usage patterns and behavior. 2. Managing customer expectations. Once customer needs have been identified, the next step is to manage customer expectations. This involves communicating with customers about the availability and delivery of IT services and ensuring that their expectations are aligned with the capabilities of the IT organization. 3. Forecasting demand. The next step is to forecast future demand for IT services. This involves using historical data and market trends to predict future demand and developing strategies to meet this demand. 4. Planning for capacity. Once future demand has been forecasted, the IT organization can plan for capacity. This involves identifying the resources required to meet future demand and ensuring that these resources are available when needed. Financial management for IT services. Financial management for IT services is the process of managing the financial resources required to deliver IT services. It involves budgeting, accounting, and charging for services to ensure that they are delivered in a cost-effective manner. The main objectives of financial management for IT services include: 1. Budgeting. The first step in financial management for IT services is to develop a budget for IT services. This involves identifying the costs associated with delivering IT services and allocating resources accordingly. 2. Accounting. Once a budget has been established, the IT organization needs to track and account for all financial transactions related to IT services. This includes managing invoices, purchase orders, and financial reports. 3. Charging for services. The next step is to charge for IT services. This involves establishing a pricing model for IT services and ensuring that customers are billed accurately and on time. 4. Managing costs. Finally, the IT organization needs to manage costs associated with delivering IT services. This involves identifying cost-saving opportunities, monitoring spending, and ensuring that IT services are delivered in a cost-effective manner. In summary, demand management and financial management for IT services are critical processes in the service strategy stage of the IT service lifecycle. By implementing these processes, organizations can ensure that they have a clear understanding of customer demand and the financial resources required to deliver IT services in a cost-effective and efficient manner. Thank you for watching us. Stay tuned for next part.